I think once I get you all, the world, everyone to understand that I care about one thing, and that's winning and producing, I think that you'll be able to see some of the other actions and look at it from a different perspective than a perspective of a lot of the names and attachments that have been thrown on me in a way.
The Cleveland Browns. Where do I even start? This is a team that it feels like had been hopeless for so long, and I mean that in, of course, the nicest way possible. I say that because this team has been so bad. And when they were bad, they weren't making the right picks. They weren't making the steps to become good. They weren't acquiring assets until they finally started acquiring assets and making steps to becoming good. Now the Browns are a team with all of the talent, and their drafts are starting to look a lot better. But for whatever reason, the Browns are still bad. I simply love some of the recent Browns picks. But why can't this team produce an on-the-field product that makes Cleveland fans happy? Some people, they look at Baker Mayfield and they see Baker was this prospect with all of the hype, all of the talent. But so far, we haven't seen the production that some people may have expected coming from Baker Mayfield. While other people, they look at Odell Beckham. They view Odell as a problem and somebody that's been a problem since coming into the league. It's easy to find a scapegoat. It's not always so easy to find a solution. This video, we're going to be talking about the Cleveland Browns reportedly shopping Odell Beckham, one of the best receivers in the NFL. If you guys watch my Allen Robinson video, I think this is a very similar situation. And Odell is somebody with all of the talent, but he can't pass the ball to himself. Before we go any further, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. You will not want to miss another Red Zone Coop video. And that's facts. It would mean a lot if you guys could go ahead and drop a thumbs up on this video. It helps me grow and it tells the YouTube algorithm that you guys enjoy my content. Also, be sure to check out my NBA channel and my Twitch. The links are in the description below. Week 1 from the Cleveland Browns was a week to remember. The fake punt was an interesting call, going for it on fourth, whatever happened. You know, the Cleveland Browns looked absolutely horrific. They looked as bad as ever. Yes, the Baltimore Ravens have a stacked roster. Yes, this is a team that's going to be contending for a Super Bowl, but that doesn't mean you can't look like a competent football team. What the Ravens did to the Browns again was embarrassing. I cannot reiterate that enough. It was so bad, and honestly, I have to say what the Browns did to themselves. This is a team that repeatedly hurts itself. So, regarding the loss, Odell Beckham comes out and says obviously Sunday wasn't what we wanted, but more game reps will be the way to go. Cleveland.com reports Beckham's 23 yards against the Baltimore Ravens marked the 4th time in 17 Browns games that Beckham has produced yardage in the 20s. To put that in perspective, in 59 games with the Giants, he only did it twice. So in this article I'm reading from Cleveland.com, it clearly seems like they want to already place the blame for Odell Beckham's play, for the Browns' poor play, on Odell Beckham. Literally, there's a tweet out there that says the Browns should let Odell Beckham Jr. seek a trade if they want to remain committed to Baker Mayfield. And one report says they're already shopping him. Now, I'm going to get into that report in just a second, but blaming Odell for Baker's struggles, is this some type of sick, twisted joke? I'm not seeing the correlation. Odell Beckham is clearly a very talented receiver. You could argue he's not what he once was, but what he is now is still absolutely amazing. I could see if Baker Mayfield was lighting things up and Odell was just playing poorly. Then, hey, maybe you do have an Odell problem. But if Baker Mayfield is struggling to go through reads and complete passes, simple passes, then maybe, just maybe, Baker Mayfield has some work to do. Now, that's not to say Baker Mayfield is bad or always going to be as bad as he's playing right now, because you get drafted that high for a reason. You get drafted that high based on your potential and how good you are. After the game, Beckham admitted he's somebody that wants the ball early. It's like a shooter putting up a couple of threes. You hit 1, 2, then you're like, hey, I might go for 60. You know what I mean? Beckham said of early receptions, I would love to get involved early, but it just didn't go that way Sunday. And like I said, you've got to give your hats to the other team sometimes. They just came out and they played the better game. Odell is right. Being the number one receiver on a struggling offense, I think you should go out and try to get your stars involved early. Beckham also noted, to paraphrase, he's made an effort to make sure he's not messing up so people don't interpret him in a negative way. But of course, that never stops anybody from judging Odell in a negative spotlight. Mayfield noted that he, Beckham, and the coach must work together to fix the problems of the offense. Baker's response to Odell Beckham wanting the ball early and often was pretty much, I go through my reads, I try to make the right reads, and sometimes you have to trust some other players. Now, I'm really paraphrasing this because it's a lot. I don't want to sit here and read you guys into a hole. Now, we've seen some disconnect between Baker and Odell before. I think if the offense is working fine, then, everybody's eating and there's no major problem. But, as things stand, maybe the Browns see things in another way. Maybe they feel Odell isn't playing up to his contract. Go figure. So Mike Francesca says on Twitter, reportedly, I hear the Browns, who are clueless, are looking to trade Odell. He says also they are asking a lot. They're asking for a lot, I guess. I don't often defend Beckham, but he's not the problem. And he's right. A writer for Fantasy Pros watched or rewatched all of Odell Beckham's targets from week 1. He says he's the same player he always was. Baker Mayfield's accuracy was horrendous. This could have easily been a 100-plus yard game for Odell Beckham Jr. versus a very tough secondary. You can already see the frustration. So, now that we have that out the way, that Odell is still Odell and Baker is playing poorly, and that Odell is on the trade block, I want to know what team you guys would like to see Odell go to. Now, we've seen Odell talk very glowingly about Bill Belichick before. The Patriots need a receiver, and so do the San Francisco 49ers. There are some good teams and systems out there that can use a guy like Odell Beckham, somebody capable of putting up 100 yards any given game. Oh, and also, Beckham wanted to make sure that we didn't get confused on his comments. He said he wants to help more than anything, and that's why he wants the ball. And again, I think he's right. Be sure to click the video on the screen right now. Be sure to subscribe. I'm Red Zone Coop, guys, keeping you updated, and I'm out.